Alright, so this is a fresh match. I bring my Tang out to get the Stealth Rocks. He does the same. I switch out, and I figured I'd bring in Tangle. I do the knockoff to get his lame off. He goes for a T-Bow, gets a crit, and he paralyzes me. I'm like, still not a big deal. He goes for the Psychic. I can still go for the knockoff. If I get paralyzed, it annoys me. I switch out, get my Regenerate, bring in Munchlax, because I know he can take anything he's got to offer. Goes for a Psychic, does almost nothing. Misses the Toxic. I go for a Body Slam, get about 19% health, lefty, so I'm not really doing any serious damage. Predict the Toxic. I bring back in Tangela, see if I can go for another knockoff, because I know I can live one Psychic. Lefties heal him. He goes for Psychic, just barely live it, but I get paralyzed again, and that was frustrating. But anyways, I switch out again, get Regenerate. No reason to sack him this early in the match. He goes for Psychic. I live it, but he's healing up all his health, and I'm not really doing anything. Gets a crit, doesn't matter though. Go for a Body Slam, get the paralyzation. He's healing up though. I'm not really doing much damage. Goes for a Toxic, but this turn I decided to go for the rest because I'm worried about that Vivillon and trying to put me to sleep and then setting up the sweep. So I'd rather be asleep on my own terms. Brings in the Girder. I knew that was going to happen. I go for a Sleep Talk, get a Body Slam, no paralyzation. Good thing because I know that's a Guts one. So he brings in that. Or I bring in Tangela. He does a bulk up. I switch out because I just wanted to get some more health. I bring in Dusclops because the Drain Punch I know is going to come my way, and I predict that. And I know he's going to go for a knockoff just to take my Dusclops out, but I just wanted to get some damage on this, so I go for a Nightshade. Get about a quarter of its health gone. Again, I sack my Dusclops, but it has wore down his Girder. So I bring in Tangela. I know I can take a Drain Punch. Knocks me down red. Go for a Leaf Storm. It lives with 1% HP. I'm like, ah. So I switch out and I bring in my Girder because I know he's gonna. But he went for a Mach Punch and didn't heal up. So he goes for another one. I have no reason to go for a Drain Punch because I don't want to risk getting into a speed tie with that. He brings out Typhlosion. I switch out because I know I can't live that, but Munchlax can take anything that a Typhlosion has to offer. Goes for a Fire Blast, does nothing. So he switches out, brings in Cacturne, and I go for a Sleep Talk. And I get a Whirlwind, so I can start getting some more hazard. Brings out the Uxie, which I know I can take on no problem. I wake up, I just start throwing Body Slams at it, get a crit. But the leftovers just keep healing them up. We're just swapping attacks now, which is Psychic Body Slam, Psychic Body Slam. And we just basically do that for a few turns. I'm just wearing him down, he's trying to wear me down. So he gets a crit. I do another Body Slam, so close to killing him. This turn, though, I decided to go for rest, and he switched out. It goes into a Sand Slash. And since I know those things carry knockoff and rapid spin, I really had no way to block this rapid spin. I'm going to Tangle because that's the Pokemon I'm least worried about getting my knockoff. So it does knock off the Evolite. It's not a big deal, though, because I figure I can go for Giga Drain, do some damage to it, but he brings the Cacturne out. I do some modest damage. Not much, but it's enough since it doesn't have any recovery. It goes for a Drain Punch. I'm like, okay, I can get a Hidden Power Ice. I get paralyzed. I'm like, ah. So I just sack him because there's nothing really for him to do anymore. And so I bring out Girder, and I figured I'll just go for a Drain Punch because if he brings out Vivillon, the Stealth Rocks are just gonna murder him. But he stays in, goes for the Seed Bomb. I take him out with a Drain Punch, and now I'm looking pretty good now. And he brings in this. I'm thinking, okay, I can go for Ice Punch because he predicted me to switch, but he goes for the Hurricane and takes me out, which gives me an opportunity to bring in Kadabra. I know I'll outspeed him because I'm a max speed. Timid plus 252 EV investment in speed. I'm worried that this is Choice Scarf, so I switch out, bring in Munchlax because I know I can't touch it. Again, Fire Blast, it does almost no damage. So he switches out, he brings in his Sand Slash, and I go for a Sleep Talk, and I get the Whirlwind, which brings out his Uxie. And now that thing's looking pretty low, and he does a Psychic just to get some damage. I go for another Sleep Talk, and I get the Body Slam, so I take him out, so he's down to his last two Pokemon. And this is what I was worried about, was his Sand Slash. So I switch out because my tank's not going to be very helpful for the rest of this match. He goes for a knockoff, takes off my Evolite as usual. He's healing up. He goes for a Rapid Spin. So his rocks are gone. I'm not really worried about that. I just want to get as much damage on him as possible. He goes for EQ, takes me out. Now this is the deciding factor. He's at pretty full health, but my Kadabra's Life Orb. Go for a Psychic and one-hit shots. I'm like, okay, I have the rest of the match, even if he's Choice Scarf. But turns out he was Choice Specs. So I outsped him and I won the match.